Abhay Charnarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya, savior of the whole world, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. Lakshmi Narasimha Swami Ki Jai. Radha Govinda Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 24 and Text 46. Atmanam Sarvabhuteshu Atmanam Sarvabhuteshu Bhagavantam Avastitam Apashyat Sarva Bhutani Bhagavati Api Cha Atmani Bhagavat Api Cha Atmani Atmanam Sarvabhuteshu Bhagavantam Avastitam Apashyat Sarva Bhutani Bhagavati Api Cha Atmani. Atmanam, the super soul, Sarva Bhuteshu, in all living beings, Bhagavantam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Avastitam, situated, Apashyat, Isa, Sarva Bhutani, all living beings, Bhagavati, in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Api, moreover, Cha, and Atmani, and the Super Soul. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Translation: He began to see that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is seated in everyone's heart and that everyone is existing on Him because He is the Super Soul of everyone. Please repeat. He began to see that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is seated in everyone's heart and that everyone is existing on Him because He is the Super Soul of everyone. Purport by Śrīla Prabhupada. That everyone is existing on the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not mean that everyone is also Godhead. This is also explained in Bhagavad-gītā. Everything is resting on Him, the Supreme Lord, but that doesn't mean that the Supreme Lord is also everywhere. This mysterious position has to be understood by highly advanced devotees. There are three kinds of devotees: the Neophyte devotee, the intermediate devotee and the advanced devotee. The neophyte devotee does not understand the techniques of devotional service, but simply offers devotional service to the deity in the temple. The intermediate devotee understands who God is, who is a devotee, who is a non-devotee, and who is innocent. And he deals with such persons differently. But a person who sees that the Lord is sitting as Paramātmā in everyone's heart, and that everything is depending or existing on the transcendental energy of the Supreme Lord, is in the highest devotional position. The Sanstha Bhakti-vedanta Purport. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatari. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in this verse we can see the Kardama Muni's exalted position. In the last few shlokas it was mentioned that he was rendering Eka Bhaktyānubhāvite, undivided devotional service to Krishna, and he developed this vision. Atmanam sarvabhuteshu bhagavantam avastitam. He saw that the Supreme Lord is seated in everyone's heart and that everyone is existing on him. Apashyat means he saw sarva bhutani bhagavati api chatmani. So seeing the Supreme Lord in everyone's heart is not an artificial exercise of the mind. You visualize a little picture of Krishna and then try to see that picture in everybody's heart. That is not called seeing. He saw the Supreme Lord seated in everyone's heart in tattvataha. That means in reality, in truth, what is happening is able to perceive. And that kind of a stage where one perceives the Supreme Lord in everyone's heart, he knows that everybody's body is a temple of Krishna, and then he sees that everything is resting on Krishna's energy. This is a very exalted stage. That's called Uttama Bhakti. There is a Bhaktadhama, the initial stage, Neophyte, and there is a Bhakta Uttama, Uttama Bhakta, and that is a pure devotee. In between there is a Madhyama Bhakta, one who has more advanced understanding. In the beginning stages, in the neophyte stages, there is a certain kind of mentality that he will have. Such neophytes, they have staunch faith on deities, and they are very attracted to the deity. They worship the deity with great reverence and earned reverence, and then they render their services. This is actually very good. They are also Vaishnavas, but he doesn't understand that the Supreme Lord is not limited only to the deity. He is actually all pervading. He is present even outside the altar also, and in fact all over the universe and in everybody's body, in his various manifestations. So he thinks that only Krishna or whatever is inside the altar should be respected, and he doesn't understand how to respect other devotees. He doesn't understand that how to deal with other people other than devotees. There are many other people. he doesn't understand how to deal with all of them. So this is the beginning stage, Kanishta. Very attached to Krishna in his deity form, which is very nice. That's an important requirement. And gradually, by worshipping the deity and hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, the devotees progresses to higher levels. So, because he doesn't understand other devotees, generally Kanishta Adhikari's feeling will be that Bhakta Darpataha, he will have a pride about his own devotion. Look, I am attending so nicely. Look, I am doing so much nice service. Look, I am doing this, I am doing that. And then he minimizes, criticizes other devotee services. They do not understand the position of other devotees, nor they can imagine that there could be advanced than him. This is one more point. Neophytes don't understand that there can be advanced devotees than me. We see in many religions, as soon as they get into that religion, becomes a little bhakta, immediately he thinks that now he can, because of that darpa, pride, he criticizes everybody else, other devotion, other types of devotion. So this darpataha is there, pride will be there, that I am actually a great devotee, I am able to strictly follow, and so he doesn't understand other advanced devotees. He doesn't understand that there can be better devotees than me. So this is one of the thinkings of the Neophytes. And if he criticizes other devotees and starts finding faults, then that will hamper his devotional service. Whatever excitement, whatever happiness he felt when he came in touch with Krishna consciousness will get evaporated as soon as he doesn't see other Vaishnavas carefully. Prabhupada advises that we should always appreciate other Vaishnavas' services and their practice of devotional service. We should encourage. So I'll come to that, how we have to deal among various categories of devotees. So then there is one more tendency is there of the Neophytes, that they don't have any feelings towards normal people. Some other devotees, okay, sometimes they will recognize, but if some ordinary people come, and let us say they come in very simple dress, he doesn't know how to deal with them or how to treat them. Of course, one thing is that Prabhupada has created this movement in such a way that if they follow the culture here, automatically he understands how to deal with other Vaishnavas and other devotees. So that's what it is mentioned in Bhagavatam, that Neophyte devotee has these tendencies. And then one more is that about the demigods, these devatas. Neophytes, they offend the devatas. Particularly in many other religions, we see as soon as they become that particular religious identification, they start offending the devatas. But actually, devatas are considered, they're all Vaishnavas. They are devotees of the Supreme Lord. It is said that if some living entities are envious of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu or Krishna, even demigods also become angry on him, and then they will punish him using all the cruel material laws. So that shows that the demigods are also devotees of the Lord. Their devotional sentiments are there. If somebody offends Vishnu, they will not tolerate. So that is the position of the devatas. So to offend the devatas, to destroy their deities, to hinder their worship and such things is offensive to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Envy of devatas means envy of the Supreme Lord. And why? Because why these demigods are existing? Because the Supreme Lord has a plan for this universe and for the living entities within this universe. He has a plan, he has a mission. One aspect is the conditioned souls wants to enjoy, so they need some facilities. So there are some devatas who provide such facilities. There is an organization. Lord supplies all these things through his organization. And as part of his will, the devatas have occupied those positions and they fulfill the mission of the Supreme Lord. Not only giving facilities, there is one more aspect of Lord's mission, and that is he wants to give them a chance to come back to his abode. So in this world you see these two forces are there. There is a wave of sense gratification. People wants to enjoy, and then yes, facilities are given. You want artificial intelligence, this intelligence, that, okay, facilities are given. But at the same time there is a propaganda by the Supreme Lord himself through his disciplic successions, inviting all the conditioned souls back to him. So you see these two currents in this world. So demigods, they play a very important role in these two missions of the Supreme. In managing the administrative affairs, they are helping the Lord, and participating in his pastimes, in his leelas in this world, they are also helping the Supreme Lord. So without seeing this bigger picture, somebody offends the demigods, then he will remain in this samsara. If somebody thinks, now I have found my Almighty, now I can destroy all these demigods and this and that, he will remain in this samsara. He has no chance that he can come out of this samsara. So devotees in Krishna consciousness, for example in Bhagavad-gītā, Krishna says, Kamaista iste hrutajnana prapadyante anya devata. He says, people who are less intelligent, they surrender to the devatas because of their material desires. They are overpowered by material desires. Sometimes they think, if I come to Krishna, Krishna doesn't give my material desires quickly. Slow, it will come very slow. So let me go to some other devata, and then if I pray there, quickly I am getting. If it is a Baba, it's even more nice because I can get very quickly. These are the kind of calculations that they go in. Some of these neophytes, they think that okay, all these practices are part of some religious aspects, but there are many other enjoyable things are there, many other worshipable things are there. So Krishna, when he says less intelligent people, they worship the devatas, is not condemning devatas' existence. He is not condemning. He is saying the devata should not be there. No. And also he is not giving a license to offend them. You cannot comment or offend these devatas. There is no license here. So what is the devotee's mood? For example, particularly when they come to Krishna consciousness, they understand all these things very easily. They go with the preachers, they understand. Preachers, what they do, they go to even big people. They may be materialistic, they may be sense gratifiers, there may be pseudo-religionists. They are practicing religion only for the sake of some name and fame. They may conduct all these things, but the devotees, they don't hesitate to approach them and preach to them to engage their whatever they can in the service of the Supreme Lord. For example, there is a chief minister or there is a minister. You may not like him, you may not like his party, You may not like all of those, but a preacher doesn't get influenced by all that. Whatever party, whatever minister, his goal is to go to them and then nicely cultivate him. If possible, bring him to the temple, tell him some few good words, and then if he becomes devotee or little supportive to the movement, then he will try to utilize his power in advancing this movement, utilizing the power of such powerful person. We are not bothered whether this party, that party, this. No, I generally support this party only, and is that some other party. So no, he has no such party calculation. Everybody is a servant of Krishna, but then covered by Maya, and he doesn't know. So somebody, he takes advantage of such power that Krishna has given to such minister and utilizes in Krishna's service. So if we can engage one minister and one chief minister, why can't we even pray to the demigods? Why can't we pray to the demigod to give us some power to serve Krishna? For example, in our temple, there is a deity of Shiva, there is a deity of Vinayaka. So devotees, they treat him as great Vaishnavas, and then they pray. They pray for the advancement of this mission. They pray for the advancement of their services. They pray that obstacles to their services are removed. We have no envy. There is no dvesha. Demigod. There is no dvesha. There is only a desire to satisfy Krishna. So in the Neophyte stage, that they don't understand the position of the demigods, and then unnecessarily they offend, and that is actually not good. Also, a Neophyte refuses to see devotees in other sampradayas, refuses to see in other devotees in other religions also. He doesn't accept that there can be devotees there. So this is one more angle. If somebody is surrendering to Almighty and then coming to an advanced stage, exhibiting some qualities, good qualities, it doesn't matter. He may be belonging to some religion, or he belonging to some path, or whatever, some other sampradaya. He sees them as Vaishnavas, and he ensures that whatever respect is required, he offers. So generally what happens, he goes by his own calculations. In the beginning stages, goes by his own calculations, mental speculations, not based on the Vedic statements. Vedas are saying we should respect everybody. We have to give due respect to everybody. Due means whatever he deserves. Uttamadhikari should be respected fully, and without hesitation one should surrender into his lotus feet. And Madhyamadhikari, we have to pay obeisances. Kanishtadhikari, we have to pay obeisances in our minds. And like that, there are how to interact with all these levels is been explained by the Acharya. So that's why if somebody comes in contact with Prabhupada's movement, particularly because the movement is engaged in preaching work, very quickly he can come to the middle level. What is the middle level? He sees now 4 things, not just the Neophyte, there is one more thing is there. Not only that he doesn't understand how to respect other Vaishnavas, he also doesn't understand how to respect Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's entourage. But let us say he is part of the organization, he automatically for example, morning somebody is carrying tulsi from here to there. Immediately all the devotees are paying obeisances. Whether you know or don't know, you are giving respect. So you are automatically getting elevated to a higher understanding. Oh, I have to respect tulsi, I have to respect the paraphernalia. Sequentials are there, pallakis are there, chamaras are there, plates are there. These are all paraphernalia of the Supreme Lord. Tadiyanam samarchanam. This is the verdict of Lord Shiva. He says, Krishna, Vishnu is more pleased if his paraphernalia is respected nicely. His devotees are worshipped nicely. So that's why we worship Tulsi, we worship Acharya, Prabhupada. Because this is more pleasing to Vishnu, Krishna. So he sticks on to that statement. Oh, this is more pleasing, so let me please Krishna more. And then he gives the respect, the due respect that is required. It doesn't go by his calculation. It looks like an ordinary plate. Why I have to give so much respect to it? That is his calculation. But actually Shastra is saying it may look like an ordinary plate, arati plate, but it is, if you take care of it nicely, keep it clean as per the directions of Prabhupada, it is more pleasing to Krishna. We should not very loosely deal with Krishna's paraphernalia and all these items and throw them disrespectfully. Even after washing, you cannot just throw them off into one butti or something. You have to carefully keep. You have to carefully keep each one. So like that, we have to exhibit that respect in our day-to-day dealings. So Madhyama means, yes, he knows Lord's all-pervading nature. He understands. He knows that Lord is the cause of all causes, and he is present everywhere, but he doesn't have his understanding of all-pervasive nature is not perfect. Only Uttamadhikari knows in all its details what it means to be all-pervading Krishna. So Madhyama, but he recognizes these four categories. He sees Krishna in the temple, and he also knows he is present everywhere, and he loves Krishna. The second one is he has friendly relations with the Vaishnavas. He recognizes there are many devotees are there. I am just one of them. And then he tries to be having friendly relations, and those relationships also how to have, that Prabhupada has given. How to deal with seniors, how to deal with juniors, how to deal with equals. There is a way to deal with all this category of Vaishnavas. So that is, so second is he knows how to deal with various Vaishnavas, and then third is innocent people he gives Krishna, he preaches. Then fourth one is somebody who is very envious of the Lord, he keeps them at a distance. He is aloof. He doesn't waste his time, because even if I tell something to him, he is going to offend Krishna, so upeksha, he neglects them. So we all can come to Madhyama by our own endeavor. There should be determination and endeavor. We can easily rise to this level. But to come to the level of Bhagavata, Uttama Bhakti, we need special blessings of Guru and Krishna. They have to permit. So by looking at our service, by looking at our devotion, their mercy can come on anybody. If somebody is nicely practicing and trying to improve himself, then certainly they will attract the attention of Guru and Krishna. And one day he can aspire to enjoy Krishna's presence everywhere. So that is the Madhyama. And then Uttamadhikari, we have understood. There are glorifications of Uttamadhikari all through Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam explains the exalted qualities of Uttamadhikaris. They look very simple. They look very kind of ordinary when we see their physical aspects. Sometimes they may have deformations in their physical body. The bodies may have some twists here and there, some or they may look little ugly, they may look little this way, that way, but a devotee is not recognized by such external features. A devotee is always recognized by what he says, by hearing. By hearing him, you will understand, oh, how exalted he is. So anybody who hears Prabhupada, they know clearly that this personality, he knows God. They know this personality knows God, he knows Krishna. So that impression strikes the reader. That is Uttama, Uttamadhikari. Just by seeing him, people will chant Hare Krishna and then they become Krishna's devotees. So that is, so that's why we should not go by the ordinary features that we see grossly and then decide that, oh, he is advanced or he is not advanced. We cannot. So in the altar also, devotees, if we only focus on Krishna, Radharani, and we don't even consider the Acharyas and the Goswamis and the Panchatattva and the all other personalities, again we are not giving proper attention. It is not pleasing to Krishna. We have to recognize the glorious personalities. And by praying to them, you can reach Krishna faster. Krishna will be obliged. If the pure devotee recommends anybody, he becomes obliged. So if that is the scenario, then why not seek the mercy of a pure devotee? So this is the thinking of an advanced devotee. As he is advancing, he knows, okay, these are the secrets of devotional service to Krishna. If I want to progress faster, then I should know what is the secret. Faster route is through his pure devotees. Prabhupada is, whatever he has given, he says simply, you serve this mission, you preach, you do this, you do that. And if a devotee takes that as life and soul, he is in an auspicious path. He will quickly gets elevated to higher levels. So paraphernalia we understood, and then yes. So here if you see, Prabhupada is explaining that these are the three categories, and here there is one statement which says that everyone is existing on Krishna. Everything is existing on Krishna. In Bhagavad-gītā, Prabhupada explains this. As soon as we hear that all these planetary systems, the whole universe, everybody, all the buildings, construction, everything that we are seeing, everything is resting on Krishna, Bhagavad-gītā says yes. Then we try to visualize. How is it that everything is resting on Krishna? There is one picture, previously used to be there, somebody is carrying the globe. And he's a stout man, but still is struggling. He's carrying the planet, Earth planet, and just Atlas, in the Atlas, this thing, there is a, this kind of, we should not visualize like that. That's why Krishna is saying, I'm not there. In the next sloka he says, I'm carrying, everything is resting on me, but I'm not there, he says. What is the meaning? Actually, Krishna is all pervading and is everywhere, is present, but through his energy. Everything is resting on his energy. There are two energies are there in this world. His Tatastha energy is there and his Bahya energy is there. And but Krishna can also manifest his internal energy. He can also manifest his personal Rupa. And how is that? If there is a presence of his devotee. If there is devotion, the all-pervading Lord can be perceived, his personal presence can be perceived. Otherwise, personally is not present. Krishna is managing everything through his energies. Through his energy is present. So this has to be understood. Through his energy presence, his personal presence, these two are different. And these two are same. Achintya Beda Beda. So through his energy is present. Let us say material energy brings you some disease. So a devotee thinks that this disease has come to me, by Krishna only. Krishna has sanctioned this disease. So he sees Krishna's hand. He takes it as Krishna's mercy. Is Krishna's will? My past karma is there, it's been minimized, and it has come to me in this format, I will accept it. This is devotee's mode. So, through his energy, he feels Krishna's presence. And for a devotee, he sees even personal presence, even in his disease. See, this is Mahabhagavata's vision. Even in his own disease, he sees Krishna. He sees Krishna everywhere. So that is in a very exalted position. And but simply practicing what Prabhupada has given to us, the morning sadhana, the japa, the chanting, and then the whole day busy with services, not allowing Maya to creep into our lives, always keeping himself busy. A devotee certainly advances, provided one thing he takes care. He doesn't offend anybody. There are no offenses to Vaishnavas, then his path is clear. Any questions? Shri Prabhupada ki jai.